We're never chatting rubbish. What do you
Oh my God, we always chat rubbish.
That was an incredible track, Naturally by Mariella. I'm really excited that she's going to be joining me. So without further ado, this is The Juice Presents featuring Mariella.
Hi.
Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you. I'm so excited.
I'm really excited. I know you've been here like a few times. You've been here with Bertie. You've been here with Jenna. That was like 2 weeks ago, I think. With Jenna.
That was only a couple of weeks ago, to be fair.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, damn. Like, I hope these guys haven't answered the questions that I want to ask.
It's fine. I tend to chat a lot of rubbish anyway, as we've said.
No.
So maybe I didn't cover something last time. I could talk about it this time.
You know?
It's good. It'll work.
I love it. I'm so here for it. What I will say is your music is just so breathtaking in terms of it just looks aesthetically pleasing. Every single single that you've brought out, it just makes sense and it's just so you. Without even knowing you, like I was like, that is you.
Oh, I love that. That's really sweet.
You know? And I was like, that is really nice. And I really wanted to feature Naturally. I feel like it naturally flowed into the track list. And I kind of want to talk really briefly on the track, actually, and talk about the collection of singles that you have brought out, because I feel like there's like a running theme. In a certain way, like aesthetically, it's like a running theme. So I'd love to touch into that if you don't mind.
Yeah, so I actually wrote every song that I've released so far. I actually all wrote within about 18 months.
Crazy.
Yeah, and it was all pre-COVID.
Wow.
So I feel like I'm sort of ruining the illusion slightly because they're not. I didn't write them that recently, but it was sort of all pre-COVID. I wrote them all with the same producer, so there's quite like a consistent like sonic sound there. What was sort of like going on in my life was sort of all around the same time, same relationship that I was sort of drawing from. And then I had a couple like different co-writers within that time, but I think we were really honing in on like what my sound was. Yeah. And took a lot of inspiration from artists like Sabrina Claudio, Neo, that sort of like dark electronic vibe, and then meet that with my soulful singer-songwritery sort of style.
Yeah, because it's still intimate. It's very it's still raw. Like you're still singing like an experience that you're going through, a feeling of a storytelling, shall I say? But there is that element of like electronica R&B that everyone's going into, which I'm so here for because I love fusing different sounds and textures together. I think it just makes a new genre
definitely
like highlight. But it's so mad to hear that it can just like still have that rawness and that natural
100%.
kind of essence of you as well.
Yeah, I think also like one thing that I've always really tapped into with my writing is that I'm a very like sensitive person. Okay, I don't know if you can tell. Yeah, I'm like overly emotional, very sensitive, and that was always kind of like a weakness.
No,
and then I know. Well, now as an adult woman, I'm like, oh, okay, no, it was fine. So I basically like channel that through writing, and then I'm like, oh, I can make something special with this. Yeah, and it's not something to be like scared of anymore. Yeah, if that makes sense.
Yeah, 100%. Do you feel like when you are writing, do you feel like emotion and current experiences are really important with what you want to create?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to speak for future me, but right now I'm like, I don't know if I could really write in a situation that I wasn't in. I think I kind of have to be in the moment, or I'm sort of reflecting on something that I've personally really experienced. My music is just like so personal to me. Yeah. But it's funny because I don't really actually talk about what the songs necessarily always mean, because I quite like to be mysterious, you know. I'm trying to be mysterious out here, but it's not really
mysterious
working.
Girl.
Yeah, that's me all over. Mysterious but overly emotional.
No, but we love that. Let's just like all click our fingers and like really hone that in this morning. But no, it's so beautiful. And yeah, I think that's really important to kind of talk about whatever experience that you are. Do you feel like correct me if I'm wrong, but do you feel like when you are kind of writing and when you do release these beautiful tracks, because they are so personal to you, do you feel like it's an invasion with other people listening to the stuff, even though you don't say what the situation is?
No, I do. It's really exposing. Yeah, it's really exposing, and that's why like when I release music, I'm like, oh god, they're gonna all hear this. And like I'm just like going into the office Monday to Friday like, hi guys, just write a little song about my feelings, because like if you think about like someone who isn't an artist or who doesn't create something that is kind of putting their heart on their sleeve, you don't really like get that insight into their life.
Correct.
Ever, unless you're like a really close friend. So like when you're an artist or in any capacity, it is really like daunting.
Yeah,
you're just putting everything out there for everyone to interpret however they want. But I think you kind of have to go over that. I
get what you see, like, because if you're constantly like stopping like the intrusion, then no one's really gonna know like who you are.
Exactly. And I think when you're an artist, you kind of that's what you're kind of doing. You're opening yourself up to connect with other people, aren't you? And that's kind of ultimately what you want to do as an artist. You want to connect with other people. It's so funny because I've written songs and I've been like, I don't know, like, I'm so emo. When I write songs, right, I'm like, no one else feels this way. It's just me. And then people connect with it and I'm like, oh, okay. It's not a main character energy anymore. Do you know what I mean? But I love that because then I'm like, oh, okay, this is for a reason. I feel like connecting with people is just like, you can't describe it.
I love that. That's so beautiful in its own right. Like, I love that. Like, connecting with people is real. And I think connections is really important because, it just showcases you. It showcases... I don't like to call them fans because fans really irritate me.
I feel really like that's a strange word.
It's such a word.
Because then it kind of makes me feel like, I don't know, like I'm some idol or something. Yeah, and I'm not. I'm just me. I say it's like a community of people. Yeah. And you've all found something in common.
Yeah. And you're all in the same community. Yeah. Sharing each other's thoughts and just loving that. Yeah. Oh, that's so nice. You've had amazing love from like across the board. Crash Magazine, also BBC introducing, like, I guess it's a little bit overwhelming in a way.
It is quite overwhelming because I do everything myself. Yeah. So like I don't have a manager, I don't have a whole team or anything like that. So like doing it all by myself is kind of crazy. And then to have that reaction, especially so early, has just been wild. Like I don't even have really the words to describe it. Or I don't even know to this day how these kind of things have happened. Yeah. But it's great. I love it.
But it's happened.
And I'm really happy about it.
I love that so much. Do you feel like with the publicity of... Because obviously... like massive shout out to BBC introducing because they do so much and Maria does some of that behind the scenes with Jess and we hear like a lot of stuff with them and like you get with London you get a lot of submissions throughout the board. So I guess like I say it's a little bit overwhelming that obviously they've listened to your track that you've either submitted or someone else has been like listen to this, play this, and then they're like okay, and they play it and you're like
it's kind of crazy. But so Abby McCarthy is the Kent presenter and she is amazing. She's supported me from day one. Don't know what it is, but she just really, really like vibes with my music. And to be like sort of picked up by, because again, like you were saying, there's so much music that like
that filters through.
That filters 100%. Through. So then to be picked up is like crazy. And like very overwhelming and exciting.
Oh my god, I'm so excited for you. I know you've previewed a couple of bits which we'll talk about later on in the show, but I wanted to quickly just talk about some of the submissions you brought to us because everyone knows I always love to ask the artists and make this very inclusive to them because this is their hour to shine and showcase some of their influences that they've been listening to either when they've grown up musically, artistry, like we just love to see it. And Mariella, you have come through with the tracks, with the juicy, tasty tracks. You've mentioned some of them before. Neo, Sabrina Claudio. I mean, they're amazing. Like some of the tracks that you chosen, the stuff that I've listened to for like the longest time. I'm massive fans of. There is one track that I couldn't play just because we played it on our previous show with Mofar, which is Aretha Franklin. But tell me a little bit of an overview with all these beautiful artists that have been something meaningful to you.
Yes, so we've got Leanne LaHavis, right? Yeah. Oh my god, I sent them a while ago. I can't remember what I did. It was Leanne LaHavis, Neo. Can we bring them up?
Yeah, we can. I
can't remember who they were now. I looked at it last night, but I've actually forgotten.
So what we got? We've got
Leanne
LaHavis.
Right, we got some girls.
So we got the girls.
We're
bringing all the girls.
Okay, so Leanne and Amy Winehouse.
Yeah.
they were like the OG guitar girls for me.
Yeah.
So when I was like obviously like a bedroom singer for a really long time, like most people are. And then when they start out, you know, singing to Adele in my bedroom, like, oh. And then, when I wanted to pursue music, I was like, right, well, I need to pick up songwriting because that's kind of what I wanted to do. And then, I sort of came across Leanne first, and that was a really like pivotal moment.
Beautiful.
And she plays guitar like so amazing and like so unique as well. It's so cool. And then a little bit later, I was really late to the Amy Winehouse game. I'm really sorry, guys. But a little bit later. Thank you. Yeah, I'm really sorry. And then I started watching videos of her during like the Frank era, and I was like, oh my god, she's so cool. Like seeing like young women playing guitar, it like in a like soulful sense. You see it a lot in like folk and like indie music and that kind of stuff, but in like a really like soulful sense, it's so unique.
It's so
I'd never really seen it before, and I was like, oh, and they're really like I don't know, they're really like quite powerful with their guitars. So anyway, I thought that was really amazing, and that like really kicked off songwriting and picking up and teaching myself guitar basically.
Oh no way!
Yeah, I just teach myself.
But to be honest with
you can kind of tell.
No, never. Like, what do you mean? No, but I think that's really nice, because then, like you say, it just influenced you even more to kind of pursue something and kind of like an aesthetic of what you wanted to portray,
for sure.
So that's amazing.
Yeah,
wow.
I love that blend of like, I don't know, like guitar is so drenched in sort of like other genres as well. You don't really think too much of it in like modern R&B and soul. I mean, maybe I'm wrong actually, but in my head at the time, that's not really what I envisioned. So it felt so unique and different. And then a little bit later, I got into the like more electronic side of music. So that was a couple of years later, after I kind of like grafted away on the guitar and really sort of started to pick up songwriting. And then I really got into I remember being at uni and listening to Neo.
This particular track that you've chosen.
I remember, right? I used to live in Brighton, and I remember like going to Topshop in Brighton, as you do, with no money. and I remember listening to this song on my headphones, and I was like, oh my god, what is this? And it was just like so breathtaking. It's so amazing.
I felt myself like, so I just want to do a massive shout out to my college professor, Mr. Chapman, and the reason why I'm going to say that is because he introduced me to this particular track.
Oh really?
And when I listened to it, like, I don't know, 16-year-old me, when this came out, I was like, yo, this is like what is this? This is like beats upon fusion upon amazing lyrical, like, just essence. I really love, and this actually brought me just to love her even more.
Right.
So when you put that in, I went, oh my god, I haven't heard that in a long time as well. Have
you heard the version before this one? She shared it before. It sounds completely different.
Really?
It's really interesting. Yeah, and that was also eye-opening as a writer, because like we were talking about earlier, when you're writing songs, oh my god, it takes so long to get to the final product or the final thing, and then to then hear other artists actually go through a lot of revisions and they change things. And music does take time. I think there's this whole thing of like, if you don't write a song really quickly, if it doesn't fall out of you, then it's no good.
Then it's not a song. For you to produce.
Exactly.
Which I'm like, that's wrong.
It's so wrong. Some songs take ages to make, and they're just amazing. But so Neo, and then also a US artist called Sabrina Claudio, who again, a lot of people don't know who she is.
I love her.
She's really big in the US, but I don't think she's that big in the UK.
No, this is really strange, because I know Sabrina Claudio. I think she's bloody good. Like, I think she's great. And there's not this particular track, but this from this album, 100%.
I know off by heart.
See, this is
it Unravel Me? Belong to You?
Oh, this is when I'm like, I don't know which one it is, but it is from this album. So let's try and get the album out, because it is stunning.
Let's just play the whole album.
Let's just play the whole entire album. Where is it? I think it is either natural.
Sing it to me.
See, no, I can't do that. Not live on air.
We're not doing that.
We're not doing
not
that.
Us with our coughs.
No. Not at like 9:30 a.m. Absolutely not. couldn't put you through that.
Yeah. Oh no, I'd love to hear that.
But I think it was. I think it is called. I think it is natural. But I just love her. I think she's so amazing.
I think what she does really well is she's really sensual in her music. And again, you don't really hear too much of that in like a mainstream way either. I mean, mainstream is probably the wrong word, but in like a I think the way that she uses her voice is so delicate, but she layers everything so well.
Yeah.
And so when I started making all the records that I have out now are really influenced by that. And like the music that I make now, I think I just really wanted to tie that sensitivity with that sensuality and make it apparent in my music. I love like all the dark production against that sort of light feminine like part of it. That's all I got to say.
I'm so here for that energy. Let's start off with Lianne La Havas, because I think she's just glorious, and I have so many versions of this, but this is just beautiful, and I just can't wait for you guys to listen to it, and I know you guys love it as well. So this is Please Don't Make Me Cry by Lianne La Havas. I thought we can jump back in and chat some more, that was another one of you, Deserve It. Yeah. Is this your debut?
That was my debut.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I remember.
That seems like a long time ago.
But the thing is, I wrote it, it would have been like February 2020.
Damn.
It was just, so the last session I did was that demo, I think, before lockdown. And then
so this is like this is not your demo, but you did a demo of this.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure maybe it was that or Naturally, but either way, one of them. But I remember writing that when I lived in Shepherd's Bush, just in my flat, and I literally just started playing on the little MIDI keyboard, this tiny MIDI keyboard that I have.
Thing.
Yeah, I mean, I am a guitar girl, but from time to time I do
like to throw in some keys.
Yeah, I do throw in some keys here and there. I mean, do you know, I generally I don't really write on keys, but that's probably like maybe the one song that's made it anywhere where I have. So maybe I should do a bit more.
Maybe you should. Maybe you need to add more keys.
Out.
I love this. I kind of want to kind of jump back in to the 4 singles that you brought out so far. Like I said, it feels like it's very, like you say, you've produced them with the same producer.
Yeah,
it's been mixed and mastered by the same people.
Yep.
So like it all has like that flowetry and that symmetry between the tracks.
Yes,
but singles, where's the EP?
Oh, I really want to do an EP. I think I was going to do one this year.
I'm not judging you, don't worry.
No, honestly, like I would love to do a bigger body of work.
Yeah.
It's just a bit hard in this. It's not all that feasible. So
especially doing it on your own as well.
On your own, so it's a bit of like a work in progress. I think I'd really like to do one next year, 100%. I think this year, I mean, who knows? Someone might pick me up and sign me and give me a little bit of money, and then I can do it later on in the year. But no, I think it'll be next year. And then this year, I'm just going to do 2 or 3 singles.
Oh my God, exciting.
Very exciting.
Yeah, because I know on your Instagram, so people go and follow the Instagram because it's got some juicy bits in there.
Some juice on there.
But you've said on your stories that you've got new music coming. Oh my God, exciting.
Yeah.
Is there any teasers that you can exclusively say on there?
Well, I haven't actually announced the release date, but it is 3 weeks today.
Oh my God.
So this is an exclusive. And I will be teasing it probably next week. But I mean, everyone on my TikTok knows this song inside out already.
I know.
It's really not that much of like an exclusive because it's already there.
But they don't know that.
Sorry, you guys don't know that. Don't go to my TikTok. Pretend it's a big exclusive, exciting thing. It is. But.
No, I get you, because like I also follow her on TikTok as well, so I already know what the song's going to be, and I'm like,
she knows what the song is.
I'm so excited. But no, that's going to be like obviously another composition into the repertoire that you've already built.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I saw you do like a couple of bits in Portugal as well. You're taking pictures of you.
Yeah, so my sister like does all my visuals with me, which is amazing because it's hard being in front of the camera.
I know.
So like, do you know what I mean? Like when you all of a sudden have to be on film and video and all that kind of, it's quite scary.
Yeah.
So my sister's like super creative, and I'm very lucky that I get to like work with her on everything, and then it makes it a bit more like seamless in that way. So we went to Lisbon. I mean, she's just been there for like a little work thing. So I went out there to visit her, and then we went to this really amazing gardens and just like took some like really like, actually I'm not gonna ruin it.
No, don't ruin it, because they look stunning. It looks stunning.
Yeah,
like literally
that's a surprise.
Like the way you like pitched it on your story is like, you're like, just creating
something cute for
you. Like I was like, what are you doing in Lisbon?
What are you doing out there
with your beautiful long skirt and your
I'm just a fair maiden. Do you know what is funny? I looked a bit like a priest actually in the outfit, and I was like, oh, it's giving. It's got some undertones here,
some nunnery vibes.
Yeah, I was like, not sure about this, but
do you know what? I feel like you're very on brand in Lisbon because they're very Catholic. So
yeah, and that's me all over.
They're quite religious. So maybe it's quite on brand.
Super. Yeah, that's exactly me.
I love that so much. But no, that's really exciting. So brand new music.
Yeah, it's called Go Slow.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and it's actually not produced by the same guy.
So this is a new producer.
This is a new producer. It's a guy called Leaps, Luke
Massive
Osborne.
shout out.
Yeah, big shout out. Luke is amazing. Like, we basically went into the studio and we were like, right, let's write a couple of ideas today. Let's just like get some like really short demos down, because I've never done that before. And he was like, let's try that. And I was like, okay, cool. So anyway, I'd written this pre-chorus on the edge of my bed on my guitar the night before, and I took it in and I was like, I think this is like something quite like, that's what I do in any session. I'll just take an idea in.
This might
I
work.
like this, is a bit hooky. I quite like this, or this is like really a sensitive little story to me, and I'll take it in. Whether it becomes something or not is a completely different story. You have to just let the creativity take you. And we ended up writing Go Slow literally in this one session, and we got sort of halfway through the day and he was like, should we do something else? And I went, no. We're sticking with this. This feels like something special. I don't know what it was. It's really like kind of cringe to explain, but it just felt, there was something in my heart that was like, we want to finish this. And like the wonderful thing about working with him is that he's a really calm person. Don't know if you can tell, but I'm a little bit like erratic, and like I can be a bit like bouncy, and and so like,
we love that though.
True, but
I get you.
But it's quite nice because he's a really like calming presence, and like to work with people like that really opens you up.
Did you feel
much.
quite like reassured, like this project is gonna be united in like within this session?
Yeah, so we'd written together before. We'd written another song before, and then so he also makes like dance music, which is really amazing. Actually, shout out Luke Leaps, because he's just released some new music.
We need to go check that out.
Yeah, so but he also like sort of works with like R&B, like sort of dark electronic-y stuff. So I was like, right, let's do a session, So we'd already done one, and then we did our second one, and we did Go Slow, and it just like was so organic. It was crazy.
That's great. When you have those connections, I think it makes a huge difference with the writing stuff.
100%.
And like producing the sound and like the complex that you want to create, even though it's your sound, but it still needs to emulate the sound that the producer is also going to help you on. Yeah,
and also like I don't produce. Like I would never. Well, I'm a co-producer on this, but I'm not like I don't produce, but I am a co-producer. No, let me explain. I don't produce in that, like I don't sit on Logic and I can't actually physically do all the things, but we'll sit next to each other and I'll be like, right, this is what I want to hear. Can we do this here? But I can't physically do it. Yeah, so guys, I take that back.
No, but if you turn around, like to be honest with you, I used to do at uni with a guy because he could play and he knew how to do everything, but then I was just like, I'm new to this like whole technology world now. Pro, like Ableton, here we come.
Okay, maybe
sign me up right now.
Maybe I need to get on it. Do you know, I don't know. I don't have the brain capacity. There's too much going on in my life already.
Do you know what? I hear you on that. Like, it literally took me like blood, sweat and tears to understand what Ableton was. And
I'm
I was
too lazy.
Even Logic, like Little Jig, it's meant to be simple. I look at it, it's like Starship. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. Honestly, it's crazy. But like, yeah, I used to sing to this guy like what I wanted, and he'd be like, "Oh, sick, okay," and then he'd do it, and I'd be like, "Oh."
But that's the magic of creativity and collaboration. I kind of low key think I don't want to produce because I love no, not because I'm lazy, because I love that collaboration that you have with someone else. You know, and that's where the magic is for me. Anyway, I'm blabbering, sorry.
No, I love it. No, the chat is going a bit wild, which we love to see it. Dan, England, it's breakfast, a DJ picnic, a lovely show today, and I think this is I think that's Dandy, hopefully. Mega tunes for the morning, loving the show. Thank you so much for all the love. Thank you for locking in. I just wanted to do quick shout outs because, you know, we have to give the people shout outs, you know, always. But yeah, no, I completely agree. And I think it's one of those situations where, yeah, when you're working with someone, it's super important to vibe, to blend, to bounce. And this is a bouncing relationship. So
exactly.
It's going to be amazing. I can't wait for you to release this. Like 3 weeks from now, guys. Put that in your diaries. Because,
put it in your diary.
You know, the release is coming.
I'm also playing a show the day after. So
oh my God.
Not to plug, but
no, plug away. We love to see it. Oh my God. We are coming up to the very last bits of our conversation, which is really sad.
I know, it's gone so fast.
It's gone so fast and it's mad. But I basically wanted to ask, in terms of future Mariella, what do you, obviously I know you're gonna hopefully, well, you will be plugging that gig in a couple of seconds, but like, yeah, what's next for you? What do you want to do for your artistry for 2024?
I really want to do a lot more live shows. I really want to.
We want to hear you live.
Yeah,
girl.
do you know I've only done one live show?
Shut up.
Which is crazy.
No way.
So when I was at uni, I used to do them all the time, and then obviously I didn't release any music till 2022, and I only did one show, and that was last November. So this will be my second show.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and then I've got another show in May, which hasn't been announced yet. But yeah, I really this year I really just want to like focus on doing live stuff, getting comfortable on stage, and like just like that connection as well that I'm really sort of looking for as an artist.
Yeah, it's like that reintroduction to live, because like you said, you used to do live all the time, then not doing live stuff. It kind of. Shall I say it kind of just like baffles you a little bit, because you're like, oh, I used to do this and now I don't know what I'm like. Like, I can look like a penguin on stage and I don't know what I'm doing.
No, I do. I tend to do this like dinosaur hands thing. It's actually really embarrassing, and I need to like. But the thing is, I won't get out of it until I practice more.
Until so
you're all just gonna have to watch me do that for another year.
What, your little dinosaur?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I just do that quite a lot and sort of like shrug a bit. I think it's like a little bit of like being uncomfortable on stage at the start. You know, you're still getting used to being stared at.
Maybe,
which is quite scary.
It is. No, honestly, like I know a lot of people say like, oh, just pretend that everyone's naked, but I'm like, no, that's even worse. No. Like, I don't want to know.
I don't want to know.
I just want it to be pitch black, like no one can be seeing me.
Yeah, do you know? Yeah, I think it needs to be really, really dark. Like I don't want to see anyone.
No, and I don't want to hear anyone either. Like I'd rather.
If you're talking in the back of my show, I'm gonna get really upset.
Gonna do that Adele moment, that what she did in her shows.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Get out.
I'm so hip. I want to close off this little section. This has been mad. Like, it's been a minute, but it's so nice to have a chat with you and talk to you about your upcoming projects, what you've been releasing, what you've released so far. It's honestly so gorgeous. It gives it such a vintage feel, because I feel like some of the content you bring out is just so like retro.
Oh yeah, I love
that. And something like a timeless blast in the past, which is really lovely. So I'm so glad we had that conversation. If you don't mind just telling our listeners your handles, your plugs, all the above, so that we can catch you on your next stuff.
You can find me everywhere on Mariella Artist on Instagram, TikTok. I've got Twitter, but I don't really use it.
uses Twitter these
Facebook,
days?
go on then. And yeah, my next single is going to be out on the 3rd of April, which is called Go Slow. And then I'm playing a show at Notting Hill Arts Club on the 4th of April.
Oh my God.
Yeah, get a ticket and come see me, say hello.
Yes, say hello. I love this. Let's just quickly, briefly finish off with Clueless.
Yay!
Because that is your recent release. Beautiful track. Tell us a little bit about it and just, open our minds to this beautiful track.
Okay, a little fun fact. So Clueless, I'd actually written the chorus about 6 years ago.
Shut up,
so I
no
had
way.
this melody in my head and these sort of like loose lyrics. And the first session I ever did with Federico, we wrote this song.
Lush.
Yeah, and that was 2019.
I love that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's it's been a hot minute.
But yeah, I think that's a sign of a good connection, good
Yeah.
producer, when you write something really, really good in the first session.
Yeah.
If I say so myself.
Absolutely. Oh no, I'm so here for this. Because when I first heard this tune, I was like, I'm so here for it. And then obviously I'm sure lots of people be like, oh my God, Clueless the movie. Like, it's got any reference to this. And I'm like,
forgot about that.
And I'm like, no, it has
No,
no
babe.
reference to this. But it's much more than that.
Much more than that.
I think it's a beautiful track. Do you want to introduce it?
Sure. Thanks for listening to me. I'm Mariella, and this is my song Clueless.
Why I gotta do this? Why I gotta do? I didn't wanna tell you, but I knew it was a love when I felt.